Hello everyone and welcome to today's Gentle Flow. I'm so glad that you are joining me today. To start off with, we're just going to sit down in a nice comfortable position. So if cross-legged works for you, that is perfect. If you'd like to be on your back instead, that is completely fine as well. Just make sure you're comfortable, make sure you're warm, and make sure you can relax. So to begin with, let's just start to soften the body in whichever position that you have found yourself in to start your practice today. Just allowing the shoulders to soften down away from the ears, releasing that feeling of them creeping up towards the ears, that tension in the neck, in the shoulders, in the chest. And just relaxing everything down. This may take quite a few breaths for you to be able to feel like the shoulders are really soft and really relaxed, and that's okay. So take as many breaths as you need to allow yourself to soften into this comfortable seats or supine position. Next, let's start to draw the awareness to our face. So just notice any tension that you're holding in the face. Notice if the brow is all ruffled up. Notice if you're maybe clenching your jaw. And just start to really pay attention to releasing all of those muscles behind the eyes and the eyebrows. Really softening the eyes, the brow, the jaw, your whole face. Maybe even allowing the eyes to close down here. Just feel that jaw really loosen up. You can even give it a little wriggle from side to side. Notice this feeling of your face being relaxed. Maybe that is something that is a little foreign to you. And just enjoy these sensations of relaxing the face. So now that we feel relaxed in the face and in the neck and the shoulders, let's start to draw our awareness down into maybe the belly and the hips. So start to notice if you feel any tension or any tensing in the abdominals. Notice if you're really squeezing the abs in tight. See if you can release and let go, and just notice the belly expanding with the breath, pulling back in towards the spine gently as you exhale, and really expanding out with the inhale. As we breathe in, just letting the diaphragm press down onto our organs down here. And then feeling in turn that expansion of the belly each time we breathe really deep into the base of the lungs. Starting to move that relaxation sensation down into the hips. Noticing if you feel, even in this position here, any tightness in the hips, anything that you're holding onto. See if you can just direct some energy down there to release, to soften through the hips. You might notice that there is one area in particular out of all these spaces that we're concentrating on relaxing and releasing that you feel is a lot tighter, a lot more difficult to release than all of the others. So for you, if you have one area that is a lot tighter than all of the other areas, please feel free to really use this time to direct your energy and your focus to releasing in that space. So what we want to be doing here in today's practice is just allowing ourselves to be soft and malleable, to be changeable, to be accepting, to be just ready for the next thing that's coming. As we start to shift again with our lives, we can feel all of this in our bodies too. So today's practice is around inviting and accepting change into our lives. See if you can set this as your intention, and wherever you're feeling that resistance the most to softening, opening, being a little flexible in the body, see if you can direct your breath to that space and that intention to that space. What are you holding on to? What are you not allowing to change and grow and shift? So perhaps taking a few moments to just set this intention. I am ready. I am open for change. I am ready for this next new normal. And I embrace the lessons that come with what life will look like in a few days, in a few weeks, and in a few months. So when we've set this intention, just allowing your eyes to flutter open, and we'll take just a little twist through the spine. Take the right hand behind you, fingertips come onto the mat. If you're lying down, of course, just make your way up to a comfortable seat. Let's take our left palm or top of the hand onto the outside of the right knee. Take a deep breath in here, lift through the spine. See if you can lengthen from the sit bones to the crown of the head. As you exhale, let's twist towards the right. Leading with that right shoulder, feeling the spine twisting. Noticing here if there's that resistance in the body to twist, to move, to be flexible. And not trying to force it into the pose even deeper, but instead just directing your breath into this space wherever you feel that resistance. And seeing if you can let go of a little more of that resistance at each time you exhale. Softening, letting go. Just one more deep breath in here. One more deep breath out. Let's come back to center and move on to the other side. Left fingertips come all the way behind us. Right hand comes onto the outside of the left knee. Deep breath in to lift and lengthen. Spine is long, chest is open. Deep breath out to twist to the left. The neck can stay nice and straight with the chin in line with the sternum. Or if it feels comfortable for the neck, you can gently turn the chin to face towards that left shoulder. Very good. Opening again, leading with that left shoulder rather than pressing the right shoulder further around and feeling that closeness through the chest. We want to keep open, collarbones broad. One more deep breath in. One more deep breath out. Very good. Let's release, come all the way back to center. Give the shoulders a few rolls back. Good. Then let's start to just lift the knees up and take the soles of the feet onto the mat. We're going to find just a little V-sit here. And we're just going to pull the chest forward, finding a little extension through the spine. And then round the spine, rolling the shoulders forward, dropping the lower back out behind us. Inhale, pull the chest forward, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, round the spine. Holding the knees as you move through this gentle spinal warm-up. Very good. Dropping the forehead down towards the legs. Then the face comes forward, lifting the chin if that feels good as you pull the heart space forward. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Exhale, round the spine. Good. One more time coming forward. This time, open the knees out and pull on the shins if you can here, or the ankles, really opening through the spine, finding that extension. The sternum presses forward. The sit bones press out behind you. And then exhale, keeping the legs in the same space. Maybe the tailbone tucks under a little. Rounding the spine, shoulders drop forward, chin drops down to the chest. Very, very good. Feeling everything softening through the neck. Good. Then slowly come back up. Straight spine. And let's start to take the legs over to one side, finding our tabletop pose. Knees come under the hips. Hands come under the shoulders. And again, let's find that little spinal warm-up, letting the belly drop down and the chest pull forward as we breathe in. Lift the chin. Lift the sit bones back behind you. As you exhale, round the spine. Press the palms into the mat. And as you press the upper back up towards the ceiling and suck the belly button up towards the spine. Inhale. Open the chest. Broaden through the shoulders. Exhale, round the spine. You can move at the pace of your own breath here. We'll just come through 3 more times. Very good. One more round. All the way into that spinal extension. Belly drops down, chest pulls forward between the upper arms. One more. Exhale, rounding the spine, hollowing out through the chest. Good. Let's find that neutral spine. Take the knees nice and wide. We're finding an extended child's pose. Hips come all the way back to the heels. Reach the arms out in front, and you can lower the forehead down to the mat. While we're here, let's reach those fingertips even further forward, away from the shoulders, away from the crown of the head. Then as you exhale, walk the hands over to the right side of the mat, all the way off the mat if you can. Knees are open, nice and wide, so you should be able to walk the hands over and pull the chest towards one side without that leg getting in the way. Keep sinking the hips down and back as you exhale and reaching the fingertips forward as you inhale. Good. Breathing deep, feeling this stretch all the way down the left side of the body. Just one more deep breath in. As you breathe out, come all the way back through center with the hands and over to the other side. Good. Release the chest down again here. Fingertips reach forward and over to the left side as you breathe in.
As you breathe out, the hips soften down towards the heels, feeling this stretch now along the right side of the body. Softening, softening, softening. Just for one more deep breath in. And coming all the way back to center on the exhale. So just remembering this is our resting pose. So if you need to come into your extended child's pose or regular child's pose at any point in today's class, just feel free. But for now, let's start to gaze between the palms. Bring the hips forward over the knees. Draw the knees together. Come back to that tabletop. Fingers are spread nice and wide. Tuck your toes. Let's start to find our downward facing dog. Lift the knees up. Start to press the hips up towards the ceiling, tilting the sit bones up and back. We find the ears come in line with the biceps when we really start to press the chest back towards the legs. Don't worry so much about softening the heels completely down to the mat. If it's easier, keep a little bend in the knees and lift the heels so that you can get that nice openness through the shoulders and the chest instead of straightening the legs but having a roundedness through the shoulders and through the spine. So concentrate on that nice long spine, even if it means you're bending through the legs. Good. So you can pedal out through the feet here. One knee bends deeply at a time as the opposite heel sinks down towards the mat, maybe straightening out through one leg at a time. You can drop the hip down as you bend the knee, twisting from side to side. Very good. Notice all the fingertips pressing into the mat and see if you can notice as they start to soften a little bit and you start to move that weight into the wrists. See if you can just draw, pressing all of the fingertips down into the mat. Good. Let's just take one more deep breath in here. One more deep breath out. Soften both heels down. Good. Let's take a deep breath in. Lift your right leg high. Find three-legged down dog. Leg reaches up towards the ceiling. Keep the hips squared towards the mat. As you exhale, pull the right knee into the chest. Let's step the foot between the palms. Finding a nice little runner's lunge here or low lunge. As we breathe in, let's drop the back knee down, open the chest, coming into almost a spinal extension or cat pose. Or cow pose, sorry. And as we breathe out, let's start to lengthen through both legs, lift the hips high, round the spine, coming into almost that cat pose. Inhale, back knee drops down, open the chest. Exhale, round the spine, lifting and lengthening both legs, hips reach high. Good, again. Open. Exhale, round. Lengthen the legs. Good. Two more times. Open. Maybe the fingertips even lift up off the mat. Exhale, fingertips reach down. Hips reach high, lengthen through the legs. Last time, all the way into that spinal extension. Maybe you even lift the arms overhead this time. Holding if you like. Making sure that that knee isn't overshooting the toes. Then exhale, dropping the hands back down, lengthening through the legs, rounding the spine. Tuck the chin in towards the chest. Keep the hips facing the front of the mat. Let's slowly start to bend through that right knee. Find that runner's lunge again here or low lunge. Then as you exhale, let's step the left foot forward to meet the right, finding forward fold at the top of the mat. Good. Just letting yourself hang here, feeling the lengthening through the hamstrings that's happening as we allow the chest to relax down towards the legs. You can hug the legs in if that feels good. Maybe hold each elbow in opposite hands and just sway from side to side. Just here for 3 breaths as maybe we move the weight a little further in towards the toes And see how that deepens the stretch down the backs of the legs. Noticing all the way through the practice where you're finding it difficult to let go of tension, where you find that you're resisting, softening, being malleable, changeable. Good. Just one more deep breath in here. Exhale to release the fingertips down. Come into a halfway lift, fingertips to the shins or the thighs. Lift the chest. The spine comes parallel with the mat. Exhale, lower all the way back down. All the way up as we breathe in. Circle sweep the arms. Palms come together. Exhale, hands to the heart space at our Tadasana, mountain pose. Let's lift the arms overhead, circle sweeping them. Come up onto the toes if you can, lifting the heels. As you exhale, let's fold all the way down. Heels come back down onto the mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands down. Let's start to step the feet back to find our plank pose. Good. So our plank pose is nice and rounded through the upper back. The belly button pulls in towards the spine. Then slowly start to soften the knees down. Let's drop the chest and the chin down towards the mat. Elbows bending straight back. As you inhale, pull the chest forward. Find your baby cobra, lifting the shoulders and lifting the head. Exhale to lower back down with the forehead. Press into the palms. Let's tuck our toes and find our downward facing dog. Reach the hips high. Press the chest back towards the legs. Well done. Let's do that all again on the other side. Deep breath in. Left leg lifts high. Find that three-legged down dog. As you exhale, let's pull the left knee into the chest. Find that low lunge, stepping the foot between the palms. Very good. As we breathe in, right knee drops down, pull the chest forward, roll the shoulders back. As you exhale, lengthen through both legs, reach the hips high and round through the spine. Inhale, opening through the chest, rolling the shoulders back. Exhale, rounding through the spine. Good. 3 more times. Moving fluidly in this motion, maybe starting to lift the fingertips up off the mat as you come into that extension. Rounding the spine, tucking the chin into the chest as you come into that flexion. Good. 2 more times, lifting the fingertips. Exhale, hands plant down, round the spine, lengthen the legs. Good. Last time. Maybe this time you lift the arms overhead, coming into a low crescent lunge. Then exhale, fingertips reach back down, framing the front foot, round through the spine, lengthen the legs. Very good. Let's find that low lunge again here. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, let's step the right foot forward to meet the left. Finding the top of the mat, Uttanasana, forward fold. Again here, we can just relax the chest down. If you like, you can take the peace fingers in both hands or with both hands and take a hold of the big toes with the peace fingers. A little bit difficult if you're wearing socks, but we're basically just holding onto the toes with the peace fingers and then lengthening through the legs. Start off with bent knees. You can start off with straight arms in a halfway lift position, and then gradually start to fold a little deeper and start to lengthen the legs a little more. You might even pull the elbows out to each side as you pull the forehead a little closer towards the toes. Very good. 3 deep breaths in and out here, letting those hamstrings lengthen, letting the crown of the head just melt towards the mat. The shoulders come down towards the ears. Everything in the upper body is relaxed. Very good. One more deep breath in here. Exhale, releasing those peace fingers. Let's take a deep breath in. Halfway lift.
Good. Exhale, fold. All the way up as we breathe in. Circle sweep your hands. Come to Urdhva Hastasana at the top of the mat. Palms together. Exhale, bring them down to the heart space. Come into your Tadasana. Good. Lifting up, maybe coming up onto the toes as you circle sweep the arms overhead. Come into your Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, let's fold all the way down, Uttanasana. Inhale to lift halfway. Good. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands down. Again, let's step or walk back to our plank pose. Very good. Lower the knees down if you like, again here, or come through a full chaturanga if you prefer. Bend the elbows straight back. Then pull the chest forward, finding your baby cobra or your upward facing dog. Exhale to press back, find downward facing dog. Good. Let's take a deep breath in. When you found your downward facing dog, find your three-legged down dog. Good. As you exhale, let's pull the right knee in towards the chest. Step the foot between the palms. Let's find that low lunge. Get your balance. Make sure you're nice and stable through the legs. Then lift up to a high lunge here. Sink down into that right knee. Good. Making sure you've got a nice wide stance, but not too wide that you can't balance here. As we inhale, let's lift and lengthen through that front leg. As you exhale, let's bend. Drop the hands down beside the hips if you like. Inhale, reach up towards the ceiling, lengthen through that right leg. Exhale, sink down low. Again, lift. Exhale, sink down low. Good. 2 more times. Lift. Exhale, lower, sink down. Last time, let's lift, lengthen. As you exhale, let's peel the back heel down. Open the hips out towards the side of the mat. Then bend into your right knee again. Find Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Fingertips reach away from the midline. And imagine that you're trying to tear the mat apart with the feet. So front foot, right foot is pressing forward to the top of the mat. Back foot is pressing back behind you. Reaching those fingertips far away from the shoulders and gazing along your right fingertips. As we breathe in here, let's make that same movement with the legs. Inhale, palms come together overhead, lengthen through the right leg. Exhale, Warrior 2. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, Warrior 2. Good. Lifting as you inhale. Exhale, Virabhadrasana 2. 2 more times. Good. Exhale, Warrior 2. Last time, all the way up. This time, turn both toes out towards the corners of your mat. Sink down into your goddess pose. Palms can come together at the heart space. Now here, we're just going to shift the weight from side to side. Good. You can keep the hips quite high, or you can start to sink down a little lower. Just taking your time, noticing how it feels in the hips, how it feels in the hamstrings, and not forcing yourself to go deeper than feels good. If you like, you can take the fingertips down to the mat and start to just walk from side to side. Toes can reach up towards the ceiling if you're coming towards Skandasana. Absolutely fine if the hips are still reaching nice and high and you're just shifting the weight from side to side. Good. Just a few more times. Wherever you are in this is absolutely fine. Good. Let's start to come back to that goddess pose, bending through both knees. Good. Then reach long with the legs. Let's slowly turn the toes forward to the top of the mat. and find a prasarita padottanasana, or a wide-legged standing forward fold. Let the chest fold forward. The hands can come down to the floor. If you have any props that you would like to use or any furniture that you can put the hands on, feel free. But otherwise, just let yourself hang here, holding onto the floor if it's there for you, or just letting yourself hang, taking each elbow in opposite hands or interlacing the fingers behind the back. Letting it be really nice and relaxing for you, not forcing anything again. And start to come back to that intention that you set at the beginning of the practice. So this idea of being malleable and movable, changeable, open, and noticing if there is somewhere in the body that you have really noticed a resistance to being open, to being soft, to being malleable and changeable, flexible. And at this point in the practice, perhaps sending the breath to that area. And just taking 3 deep breaths in and out. Trying to soften and release whatever you're holding onto in that area of your body. Good. Then slowly start to take the hands back onto the mat. And let's start to slowly roll up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Good. Rolling the shoulders back. Perfect. Beautiful. Let's turn the right toes to the top of the mat. Start to bend through that right knee. And see if you can pick up the back heel, lifting into that lunge again. Lower the hands down, framing that front foot. Let's step it all the way back. Find your plank pose and come through your chaturanga, maybe lowering the knees down or keeping them lifted. Exhale to bend the elbows straight back. Inhale, pull the chest forward, baby cobra or up dog. Exhale, let's find that downward facing dog, pressing the palms into the mat and lifting the hips high. Very good. Let's find that all on the other side, taking a little break, taking whatever you need between. But when you're ready, let's lift that left leg high, find your 3-legged down dog. As you exhale, left knee pulls into the chest. Step it between the palms. Find that nice stable low lunge position or runner's lunge. Then lift into your high lunge when you're ready. You might feel a little bit wobbly here, but then just settle into it, bending deep through that left knee. Good. Let's start to reach up long as we inhale. Soften down as we exhale. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, release the shoulders down, reach the hands down to the hips. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, soften. Good. 2 more times. Exhale, soften. Deepen that lunge. Last time, reach high. This time, peel the back heel down. Let's open the hips to the side of the mat. Bend through that left knee. Find your Virabhadrasana 2 or Warrior 2 pose, reaching the hands far away from the midline. And again, trying to almost rip apart your mat with your feet. You'll notice that the front heel intercepts the arch of the back foot or thereabouts. The hips can be almost facing diagonally or to the side of the mat. Just depends on your body. Don't feel like it has to look a certain particular way. Just as long as it feels good, you're all good. Let's again lift as we inhale. Lengthen through that left leg. Palms come together. Exhale, soften, warrior two. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, warrior two. Good. 3 more times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, soften. Inhale, lift. Exhale, soften. Good job. One last time. Let's lift. Palms come together. This time, big toes face towards the corners of the mat. Find your goddess pose. Palms come together at the heart space. Very good. And again, let's shift the weight from side to side. Just really softly, gently moving from side to side. The hands can come onto the thighs if it feels a little bit better for your balance. And if you're getting to the point where you're bending quite deeply into the knees, coming towards Skandasana, hands can come down onto the mat as you sort of explore this. Very good. Not here for too much longer. Taking deep breaths in and deep breaths out wherever you are. Good. Let's find our goddess pose. Bending through those knees. Then lift the legs long. Turn the toes towards the side of the mat, almost slightly pigeon-toed with the feet. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, let's find that wide-legged forward fold again here. Hands can come down to the floor. They can hold each opposite elbow in the palms, or you can interlace the fingers behind your back, lengthening the hands all the way overhead, maybe out in front. Just let the muscles in the face really soften here. The shoulders can come down towards the ears. And wherever you are in this pose, whether this feels comfortable or quite challenging, let yourself again find wherever you are resisting this openness. And maybe exploring this idea again of being ready, preparing for this new shift, being okay with the changes that are happening in your life, and trying to be flexible and positive all the way through. Of course, there will be ups and downs. Of course, there's going to be just days that don't feel good, days that don't go well. And of course, you're going to have to say no sometimes to opportunities or things that don't feel right. But just being open to what things start to look like. Being prepared for this change. And as you mull over this intention, just letting your body really feel this and really deeply relax as it settles in. Let's just take one more deep breath in. One more deep breath out. Good. Then start to roll all the way back up, bending through the knees if you need to. Round the spine. Shoulders come up towards the ears, then roll them back. Then again, left toes point towards the front of the mat. Pick up the back heel so that you find that lunge. Then take the hands down, framing that front foot. Plant the hands down, step the left foot back, coming through your chaturanga or pressing straight back to downward facing dog. Let's just take a deep breath in here in our downward facing dog.
As we exhale, release the knees down, open them wide, or keep them just at hip width apart, and come into your extended child's pose, or maybe a regular child's pose with the hands down by the sides, the shoulders just melting over the knees. Just take a few moments here to completely soften, to feel like you can relax, to rest. Breathing deeply, slowly, smoothly. Stay here for as long as you like. Letting yourself find this stillness, this softness in your body, this openness in your mind. Then whenever you feel ready, slowly start to take the palms back under the shoulders, taking as long as you need to slowly start to take the forehead back up off the mat. Starting to lift the spine up. And making your way into that comfortable seat that we started the practice in. Cross-legged if that feels good for you. And just take another few moments to soften the shoulders, lengthen the spine, slightly tucking the chin in towards the chest, feeling that length that you create through the back of the neck when you do so. And just come back to that intention. Maybe just one word or one phrase stuck with you throughout the practice. Whatever that is, just noticing that word, maybe repeating it a few times to yourself, and really noticing how it feels for you, what it means to you. Then start to notice how the body and the mind are feeling now as we come to the end of our practice. Perhaps noticing if you feel a little more soft. Perhaps noticing if you feel a little more open, physically or mentally. Perhaps noticing if you feel a little more ready. And just take as long as you need before you finish this practice. Perhaps first ending the practice by bringing the hands together at the heart space and just bowing the head in gratitude for yourself, for making time for your practice today, for really spending time with yourself and asking these questions, for tuning into your body, for tuning into what is going on mentally, physically, emotionally.
maybe even spiritually. And when you are ready, you are all ready to go. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. I really hope that you enjoyed the class and that you feel really nice and supple and soft through the body, a little bit softer, more accepting, more ready in your mind. So thank you again. I will see you soon. Namaste.